Good afternoon. Thank you for attending this important event. As part of our strategic planning effort during the fall of 2021, I charged a working group comprised of a diverse set of our colleagues to create a plan for our campus environment, a plan that supports our universities for the Times strategic work that was launched a year ago this fall. I am very grateful, and I would like to thank the members of the working group for their endeavors, their hard work, their efforts, and for staying true to the charge they were given 2 years ago. On that note, I'd like to share with you the assignment that was tasked to the working group. In this work, I asked, you will be guided by the following principles. First, to be broadly inclusive and transparent. Second, to honor UMass Boston's mission-driven values and promote inclusive excellence. Third, to ensure coherence and focus upon our strategic plan. Fourth, to focus on great planning and even better execution. And fifth, to develop a plan for our university that is A, data informed, B, adapts best practices to our unique campus, C, builds on and enhances our unique locational endowment, D, creates opportunities where we have gaps, and E, is bold and yet realistic in terms of our ambitions. After today's presentation, I hope you will join me and you will agree that the working group has done an exemplary work completing this assignment. My deep gratitude to members of the working group for the ethic, for the care, for the exemplary work they've developed. To Dennis Swinford. Dennis, where are you? Thank you. Our Director of Campus Master Planning. To Kathleen Curlis, our Vice Chancellor for A&F. I am grateful for your leadership and your support. It is my pleasure now to turn the program to Vice Chancellor Curlis to get us started. Kathleen.
Thank you, Chancellor Suarez-Orozco. We have been in the process of implementing the 2009 Campus Master Plan and soon to be approaching the end of it with the completion of the SDQD project in November. Now we need a plan for the future. Over the past several months, an update to our Campus Master Plan has been developed through the equitable, inclusive, and transparent process that our Chancellor just referenced. I believe this plan is bold but achievable. In it, we are articulating our ambition to provide a health-promoting environment for the members of our learning community. It is now my pleasure to introduce Dennis Swinford, Director of Campus Planning and Sustainability, to take us through the plan. Dennis?
Thank you, working group, and our master plan design team. We have several of them with us today. My team is here, Tina Perez, and also Janet Cohen. And we also have Faith, somewhere in church. And we have Susan Knight from the design team and Susan Beth Long from the design team. And then Sarah Falcon from the deep camp. So thank you, everybody that's here on the team to help us put this all together. So the agenda for today is really to walk you through the purpose, process, and participation we had during our work, a bit of background we learned during that, and then the campus master plan itself. I personally don't mind interruptions. So if you have a question or if I've gone too fast, sometimes I get a bit nervous and get a little bit going too fast. If I'm going too fast, please slow me down and I will stop and answer a question. So I'm happy to have that interaction with all of you. As the chancellor reminded us, really the master plan, the campus master plan, is to serve our strategic plan. We are here to provide facilities on a daily basis and in the future that supports what we want to do here as a learning community. So number two, make sure that it fits our vision and mission and the strategic plan that we just created. I've worked at a lot of institutions, and having the opportunity to have the strategic plan done with the campus master plan, along with an energy and carbon master plan, which we're going to talk about Monday, all together at the same time, is really quite an endeavor. It will set us up for the future quite well. And it also gives us the ability to think about all the important things about being a community of learners all at the same time. And then the fourth part here, I'd always like to say that it helps us articulate our aspirations for the future to our supporters. And that is really an important part of the campus master plan also. The process we went through with the working group had three big phases. One, the first phase was really to discover, to understand the campus, its existing conditions, and understand what we would like to have in the future here on the campus. B was to explore how those things could be arranged on the campus and accommodated on the campus. So that was the explore phase. And then the last phase was really to take the alternative that we like in the explore phase and create a draft campus master plan and then document it. So we had just kind of an outline of the process and how we had people involved. We had working groups. We had a lot of Zoom meetings, which was really great. One of the advantages of master planning and the pandemic is getting people together on Zoom and talking about things almost at a moment's notice. A lot of drop-in sessions, and also we had a couple events at the campus center to have student involvement. Along with that, we had a survey that went out. And this is a colorful slide. Don't necessarily think that you're going to be able to read it, but there was a lot of great energy that came from the students during the whole campus community. We had faculty and staff participate also during our kind of classic dot session at the campus center. And then the left-hand side of the slide is really results from our survey that was sent out. One of the most important pieces from the survey was to really understand the amount of time that our students spend on campus beyond just classes, and how important that is to enhance that experience for them. Because the longer that we stay on campus as students, it's been proven, the better they do. So if we can create an environment that keeps them here, studying, being with their friends, hanging out, the better they're going to be as students. So the campus master plan really focused on doing that. The background. Let me orient you a bit. This is going to be the first time you see the campus in this way. This is our peninsula, south West Garage here, University Drive East, and the ocean to the right. We had a series of architects and engineers look at our buildings and help us understand their quality. Not too many surprises. Which ones are good, in good condition? It's the ones that we've just recently built. U-Haul, ISC, the West Garage, our residence halls. The ones that really continue to need to be work and really is the disparity of our learning environments here on campus are our heritage buildings, Wheatley, McCormick, and Healy. So the ones that were built originally on the campus are the ones that need the most attention. That didn't go unnoticed from all the people that we talked about and the sessions that we had on campus with people. The number one thing we heard was the poor conditions of our heritage building. And the productivity of our students and our faculty and our staff and our researchers in those buildings was something that was the most heard comment of all the interviews that we did. Another comment was the cultural diversity and how we should have that reflected in our physical spaces. You can all read these. I won't read them all. But there is another one that I really do like to pull out, and that is the need for spaces that create collaboration in an open and communal way on our campus. So that was something that we heard quite a bit during our. We had a set of experts come in and do an inventory of the space, and then what we're trying to do in the space. And that is the top line here. So the blues are kind of academic spaces. The pink is our research space. The red is what we call the workspace, which is our faculty offices, our conference rooms, and support. The browns, kind of the fall colors there, are student spaces. And then the green is our support spaces. So the top bar is what we have today on campus, right around 1 million square feet. The bottom bar, doing what we do today. So with the amount of students we have on campus, the faculty and staff we have on campus, doing what we do today, not thinking about growing in the future, this is the type of space that we need. So give ourselves a hand that we're doing really great work in a little space. But at the same time, there are spaces that we have quite a bit of deficit in. Number one, classrooms. The type of classrooms we have, the amount of space we have in the classrooms is something that was identified as a deficit, and we continue and are currently working on that. And the other space that is concerning and a space that we really want to try to grow is our student support space. The spaces where students go to find help with their academic work, a place where they hang out, a place where they create clubs and learn about leadership. Those types of spaces are also part of the deficit of the plan of our campus environment today. So our task was to take this space and figure out how we would accommodate it into a future plan. That works out to be about 330,000 to 400 net assignable square feet. Net assignable square feet is the space that you use in a campus. So it's this conference room. The gross square feet is when you begin to put the size of the walls in, the bathrooms, the hallways. So when you're looking for a space for a building, you really want to be working and looking at gross square feet, not net square feet. So we were looking to accommodate between 600 and 725,000 gross square feet on the campus. Strategies, leveraging our existing facilities through renovations. We'll go through all of these in a minute. A more efficient use of utilization, more flexible and efficient utilization. Some new construction, hopefully new construction. Some new space on campus is part of the plan. And then creative partnerships and other innovative opportunities. Read that as public-private partnerships. So that was how we thought we would address the space deficit on the campus. The planning principles that we used were, one, to create a strong, welcoming, inclusive, health-promoting campus. Two, invest in high-quality, inclusive learning environments that support the university core value. Three, create a physical campus that supports community university reciprocal engagement, meaning we want to do better at getting out into the community. And we also want our community and our neighbors to feel comfortable coming and using our campus. So more of a way to create a physical environment that make people feel comfortable coming here and being on campus. And to that, us going out into the community and being more part of our neighborhoods. The fourth is really quite important. It's how we create a sustainable campus. Our campus master plan. A big part of everything we do in the campus master plan, and a presentation that's going to happen Monday on a big part of sustainability, is the three parts that we looked at in the campus master plan was the environment, the social aspects of sustainability, and the economics. What we've tried to do in the campus master plan is provide an environment where those three things can come together and work as a purposeful, integrated approach towards sustainability. One of those things is our future with energy. You know, how much energy we are using on campus and where is it coming from? I just want to tell you here in bold red letters, same time, same place on Monday. And we'll go into that in detail. It's a very sophisticated plan, great story. Really would encourage everybody to come back and hear about our energy and carbon master plan on Monday. We explored options. So how does the campus go together? And why does it go together? I think one of the things that we worked with that was one of the more difficult things that we worked with was to begin to look at how we might bring field space back on campus. And when we get to the master plan, I can connect and explain why that was difficult. We have a limited set of space on campus. We are in a peninsula. We're not making any more land here. It's not as if we're in the middle of Boston and it only takes money to buy your next neighbor. We really can't get that much bigger on the campus. So that was a little bit of a struggle. We looked at that and explored options, and I'll share with you how that ended up in a second. Big ideas of the campus plan. One was we have really great east-west spines on campus. We all like Beacons Walk. We all like when it's finished, the plaza will be a wonderful east-west spine, and it's getting better by the day. It's really becoming great. The thing that the campus master plan began to do is how to knit those two together. So the red lines on here, the red dotted lines, explore this idea of bringing the campus, knitting it together from east-west, north-south standpoint, and knitting it all together. Another big idea of the master plan was to create a welcoming entrance on the west side of campus. From West Garage, getting into the campus, most of us come that way. How do we make that more welcoming? Then the yellowed boxes here are opportunities for future growth. Let me get a little bit more into details. This is a plan of the campus master plan update. So on this plan, you will recognize some of the existing building. West Garage there, it's white. You can also see University Hall and the campus center in white, and the ISC in white. Those buildings are in white because they're relatively new. And what we have done in the master plan is to say, let's just keep them up. Let's just keep them in good condition and up to date. The blues, the dark blues are footprints for possible new buildings. So the dark blue on here are places where we'd like to build new buildings. The light blue is significant renovations and reuse of our heritage buildings. Number one part of the campus master plan is figuring out how we modernize our heritage buildings. So let me walk you through the campus when it's done. So a welcoming addition, a campus gateway. This is conceived of a possible addition to Service and Supply and Quinn in the parking lot that's between that building and West Garage. That will set up a place where this view today could end up looking something, will end up looking something like. So there will be a much more welcoming, straightforward way to enter the campus. We envision uses there to be something that would begin to help us attract future students. So our efforts in terms of having admissions there, so you could come out of the West Garage as a new student and a new family and find a place to be, and then go to your tours from there, really critically important. Possibly a spot where we could expand into more academic uses in this location also. But really uses that we want at the front door is what we're thinking about in this new building. Our heritage buildings, Wheatley, McCormick, and Healy, were a lot of discussion during the master planning on how we thought about and the attitude we'd want to take towards renovating those buildings. There's a lot of opportunities there to renew the buildings and to make them modern learning environments. This is a view from the quad. We're all going to be enjoying very soon. This is the middle of the quad, looking back up to maybe McCormick and Wheatley someday. You probably have not had this view lately, but you take a look at this view, and there's much more transparency into the building, much more glass, and we will do this in a sustainable way. But bringing natural light into our environments is the number one thing we'd like to do as we renovate these buildings. It is a shame. I'll go on my soapbox a bit. It's a shame to be walking around in those buildings and realize that a view to the water is just a cinder block wall away. So that is one of the key aspects. And I'll go into detail a little bit. We looked at Wheatley in detail, and I want to take a minute and show you what we thought about. This is Wheatley's ground floor. The blue boxes here are new classrooms. The yellow boxes are kind of these third spaces, these sticky spaces that people can come and congregate and stay in between classes. And the orange spaces are special types of classrooms. So maker spaces, virtual reality spaces, things that we can't quite know exactly yet, but there is a way to think about Wheatley as a place you go in and you feel welcome and you don't get lost. You can also see there are places where we've blown some corridors through that building to make it more legible in terms of how you get around the first floor of Wheatley. So that, and then expanding the walls out, creating more footprint, we're able to think about Wheatley in a completely different way. We have a lot more information about Wheatley. I won't go into that. It's in the campus master plan. I really do look forward to maybe having conversations with people that live and work in Wheatley about these ideas, and as we go forward and thinking about how we begin to renovate that building. The biggest and most important future site we have, one of the biggest and most important future sites we have, is what we used to call Site S. That is, if you've been out there, it's been doubling as a nursery lately. It was a big pile of dirt for a while. Actually, yeah, it was actually a pile of the Science Center for a while. And now it's back in the hole. And now it's a nursery. But one day it could be a set of new buildings with significant size, 292,000 gross square feet and 120,000 gross square feet. To put that in context, 292 is a little bit bigger than our Healy library. So we have significant ways to grow on campus and in a significant location. As I promised, one of the challenges to finding a spot where we can begin to support sports, support our NCAA teams, our people that want to be part of an athletic endeavor, was to look at putting a lacrosse and soccer field on campus. A lot of campuses have done this. This is examining a way that we could put a park, is suggesting and planning a way in which we can put a field on top of parking. So this is a 3-level parking garage with a field on top of it. The C is a new building next to it. That could be an academic building. It could be an academic building, all types of spaces, but also would have a great view out to the field space. And there is room for 450, depending on how high we want to go, to 950 spaces. So the future of parking is the future of parking and accommodating parking, as much as I would like to think that we'd all get here by public transportation, being the director of sustainability. But the people that need to drive, we have you accommodated. Next to that building is between Clark Athletics and the field space is this wonderful site that could be academic. It could be a new wellness and health center. So getting our students out of McCormick and into a more modern campus center, campus athletic center would be something that could happen here because of its adjacencies with other athletic facilities. The campus master plan really did look at making and creating a plan that met the needs of the strategic plan. And this is maybe a little bit, so these are elements of the strategic plan, principles of the master plan, and how they mesh and come together. So this is our campus today. This is our campus in the future. And so in terms of a summary, I want to tell you all that today, after you leave the meeting, there's going to be a new campus plan website. The 2 documents are going to be there. There's going to be one that's called the master plan. That's going to be 300 pages of all the work that we did. And then there's a summary there called Our Vision of the Future. And there's also a link to this video that I'm going to show you.
At UMass Boston, we stand for bold ideas, knowledge in service of the greater good, diversity as a cornerstone of academic excellence, and a learning environment enriched by community engagement. These ideas drive our strategic plan for the times and inform our commitment to tackle the greater challenges of today and tomorrow. And they also anchor this new campus master plan, a blueprint that aligns our extraordinary locational endowment and facilities with pursuit of our educational mission. The Campus Master Plan reinvents the UMass Boston campus in our own image as a place of extraordinary cultural wealth that prizes collaboration and belonging and cultivates health, well-being, and an ethic of care for all.
I've met people from all walks of life at UMass Boston. We're all different, but together, we're all beacons. We want our campus to reflect our diversity.
As Boston's only public research university, UMass Boston is genuinely of and for the city. It's a place where research, innovation, and discovery accelerate economic vitality and citizen engagement in Boston and across the Commonwealth.
Being a student at UMass Boston doesn't just mean studying. It means contributing to our community and the economy of our city.
The new Campus Master Plan dramatically transforms our existing infrastructure through facility renovation, new construction, community and institutional partnerships, and space optimization. Among many other functional and aesthetic improvements, the plan will enhance ground floor spaces with increased transparency to take advantage of waterfront views and to create clear connections between campus buildings and facilities. Develop and humanize open spaces with thoughtful landscaping and artwork. Modernize heritage buildings to meet evolving university needs, accommodate state-of-the-art educational technology, and expand research capacity. Optimize waterfront use and incorporate more features of Columbia Point's unique natural environment into the campus footprint. Identify new sites that support additional space and potential for expansion. Public-private partnerships, including the adjacent calf pasture and historic pumping station site, will provide opportunities for complementary uses that strengthen our academic programs and engage students, faculty, and staff in the UMass Boston community. To a greater extent than ever before, the Campus Master Plan integrates the UMass Boston campus with surrounding communities via a clear network of thoroughfares and landmarks harmonizing existing and future structures into a cohesive environment. Key entrances at both the northwest and southwest corners of the campus welcome residents from adjacent neighborhoods and highlight UMass Boston's setting on Boston Harbor. An inviting new academic quad complements a series of exterior spaces, amenities, living laboratories, and pedestrian walkways that connect the campus to the harbor, maximizing water views and bringing people together. Increasing transparency in existing buildings and new construction optimizes natural light and openness, aesthetic elements conducive to study, reflection, and intellectual and professional growth. A regulation soccer and lacrosse field on top of structured parking will support the university's commitment to creating a health-promoting campus.
UMass Boston's new campus master plan envisions an empowering academic environment that inspires collaboration and learning while prioritizing accessibility, inclusivity, and sustainability to nurture a more equitable, interactive campus experience. The plan heralds a university on the move. Watch us as we turn today's challenges into tomorrow's triumphs on a reimagined campus that supports impactful, cutting-edge research, student success, and robust community engagement. Now and moving forward, our campus will remind us that UMass Boston is indeed a university for the times, no matter the times.
I was just thinking maybe I could have saved us a lot of time just by showing that video and not doing any presentation. So I really do appreciate everybody. We really appreciate everybody coming out. I would love to entertain any questions, any thoughts, particularly about the plan, our way forward, and any other reactions or questions that you have. I'd be willing to entertain them. Yes.
In terms of timeline,
Yeah.
what do you look?
So that's always a tough question from a master. I mean, we like to look at things as far in advance as we possibly can. So with that answer, it's really about finding funding and being able to actually, once we get the funding, be able to execute the work. So we have a capacity of being able to do work on campus also, although sometimes I think we've stretched it, in terms of the SDQD project being really big and really kind of impactful for everybody. So maybe a break for a little while, and then begin to look at new things. This is 25 to 30 years. If you look back, the amount of square footage that we are proposing on the plan is the amount of square footage that we put into the campus over the last. So it's bold, but we do feel it's achievable. I hope that answered your question. For 25, 30 years, we should be there. Yes.
Yeah, thanks for a great presentation. Can you tell me how the campus master plan connects with development at Dorchester Bay City?
Mount Vernon Street. And the recognition that there is a possibility of partners to be located in that development.
Well, there's some uses at Dorchester Bay City that will have to go someplace else.
We are actually there was CAPS. It's now gone. It's now been moved from there. There is one floor left that we're working on getting them in the campus.
And the parking that is at the site where Dorchester Bay City will
Yeah,
be.
you're seeing it right here. Right there. Look out the window. That gray is the parking. That's where the parking for Dorchester Bay City is coming. And then when we get the opportunity to build the parking deck with the field on top of it, that will be where that parking is. Sorry, I didn't connect exactly what you were asking. Yeah, that's where we're going to put the parking for Dorchester Bay City. glad that you used that name instead of Bayside. Thank you. Any other questions? Yes.
In the past, I know a lot of students have complained about parking prices and how the money wasn't utilized well. So I'm just wondering where the costs are coming from and if it's gonna increase some sort of cost for the students.
The master plan doesn't necessarily get that far into detail in terms of how the costs are going to be, how we're going to pay for it. Although I will say, increasing costs, making whoever it is paying more is something we take very seriously. We try to do our best to keep it, economically affordable, keep it in a way that it can be a place where first timers can come and afford to go to campus. I mean, that is part of who we are and what we are. So we're not trying to create a campus that's too expensive for people to come to, but we are trying to provide facilities that we need, and with the resources that we can find. I hope that answered the question.
I apologize, I was in class. How much is the total cost of this project?
We didn't do it. We didn't add it up. We didn't add it up because it's a series of projects.
Will you be bonding for these?
Don't know. Hopefully we don't. Hopefully we get donors. I really hope that there's a donor out there that sees that video and says, I want to help do this. I want to come to UMass Boston and put my name on the campus.
The West Parking Garage would be a good place first and pay off the $80 million bond.
Yeah, oh, that's yeah.
Reduce our parking costs.
Yeah. Yes.
There's a number of new buildings and initiatives as part of the plan.
Yeah.
What are the factors and steps to help prioritize the order of the things we try to attack these new projects in?
So next steps are begin to, we've done a little bit of it next. We have prioritized, and when you read it, it kind of begins at the end. I didn't get to that in the presentation, but at the end of the plan, there's a bit of prioritization hinted. It is heritage building renovation. Wheatley, McCormick, Healy, particularly Wheatley and Healy, right on top of the list. So when we are able to find money, those are priorities on top of it. Other priorities are, I would say, we are currently working on new space for the. We're looking at a space study for the College of Nursing and Health Sciences, Banning College. So that's also something. They were a little bit of history. I'm not that good at history at Boston. I have been here that long, but a little bit of history is we had a building plan and design for most of the College of Nursing Health Sciences that got yanked. We stuffed them in. So in terms of priority, that may be something that we want to do relatively quickly. Is that it's a series of discussions. The master plan lays out where space can go from a functional standpoint. It doesn't necessarily say who goes where. So there could be, there is a lot of options in the plan for how it goes together. It will set priorities at the time. Priorities, funding at the time. But I did hint at a couple of things. Yes.
I'm not sure if the master plan has gone this far yet, but is there plans for accessibility at all points for students and even staff who have disabilities?
Absolutely. The building that I showed at the gateway, personally, one of the most exciting parts of the plan for me is that building at West Garage. It could really help. Having that. Being able to come into that lobby, get into an elevator, and get up to the level. So yes, absolutely. And it's something that we have to, I don't want to minimize it, but it's something we have to do.
Right. And does that include transportation, like the shuttle buses stopping at new points?
We didn't look at, the changing shuttle bus places, but, you look at, when you read the plan, we have a couple of places we call multimodal. And one of them happens to be at that new building at West Garage, kind of move around the corner from where it stops now. And ISC kind of what I use, kind of out there in the wind, but move it around the corner and put it at that building. So yes, we continue, as we develop the campus, we continue to look at operational things, shuttle buses, and accessibility is definitely. Yes.
Yeah, the 2009 master plan anticipated multiple student residence halls beyond the 2 that were constructed. What does this plan have to say about it?
We did not accommodate any additional in the plan. We did not accommodate any additional student housing. There are sites that could be student housing. There is also the Capacity Pump Station, P3, which could bring additional student housing on. So there is a way to accommodate additional student housing on campus, but we didn't. The master plan team felt that there are a lot of students that come here that don't live here. There's a lot of spaces on campus that we need for everybody. And let's focus on doing that. And then if there's an opportunity to do additional housing, we will. Good question. I love these questions. Any more?
Okay, since you like questions, I was thinking about were any of the spaces envisioned as, I don't want to just say revenue generating, but opportunities for event space, for on-campus events, and perhaps, hopefully there aren't events people here, but other people is like more working on, but places where community events, again, can be reserved and we make money from that.
I personally, to answer that question, yes. But to really answer the question, I'd like you to walk out to the windows and take a look at that while we're building the quad. I mean, it's going to be a gem. It's going to be a jewel to bring our campus community, our neighbors, the city of Boston, bring them, and let's be together here on our new quad.
I'm not ungrateful for the quad. I'm just like, so then I want to start at the quad and then have like a cocktail reception at the park. Like, I'm just thinking like.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay.
Cocktail reception and then, at the top of the building on the point, a nice place to look out over the water.
Dennis, if I could just add, BCI is selling their field space for $350 an hour. Yeah, we could do that if we had a field.
Good. I like the way you all think. That is money. Yes.
You originally said that there was going to be more space for students to hang out and for student organizations to kind of gather. Where is that exactly in the plan? I know I saw in Wheatley you have some new academic classrooms, and there's that little bit of open space that's there. Where do you envision some of this additional space coming for our students to kind of gather and belong?
So it is going to that question. One, it's going to be an important part of the building program when we build new buildings. So it will become a nuisance. It will come from more efficient use of our existing spaces. Some examples of that are little things that we've been doing here, like in front of McCormick, the McCormick lobby, kind of taking spaces that are already there and making them a little bit more, pardon the shorthand, inhabitable. And so that's piece. Another piece is the master plan, and a lot of the people in the working group wanted to help figure out the campus centers. For various reasons, we can go into how it happened and why it happened. But there could be some student success programs that don't necessarily belong in this building. It should be in Healy. So what if we envision a campus that had a learning beacon? You go to Healy for student support and success. That's where you find, that's where you find C's, most of C's. The other thing, when they leave, if some of those programs happen to be here, there might be additional backfill space or additional campus. And the third spaces that we would like our students to have. So to some extent, making this more of a campus center, a true campus center, and then a learning center, a learning hub at Healy Line are the big parts of the campus. Kind of a big part of the campus, and sorting that out. I hope that answered your question. Anything else? Any easy questions? Did I have fun? Yes, I had fun. It's always important. Bring it back to me, right? I had fun. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Appreciate your time. This is only a beginning of the discussions of what we're going to be able to do on the campus in the future. Thank you very much.